Hello everybody, Flik here and welcome to a Let's Look At of Bound by Flames, and I'm not sure who owns the copyright to this song that's playing over the main intro, so I'm going to quickly press New Game, overwrite my autosave. Oh, it's still playing. Okay, well I'll just have to talk a lot then, I guess. This is a game by Spider Studio. In order not to spoil too much, I'm just going to play from the start of the game, although I have been playing for about 3 hours off camera. So these are going to be first impressions, not a review. Keep that in mind, please. And I guess I'll just keep him as the default Vulcan. You can change your name, but everybody calls you Vulcan. So we'll get into the game, and as the intro starts, we'll play on Recruit. The reason I'm doing that is the combat system in the game is very, very involved, and if I'm focusing on what I'm saying, I'm not going to be able to do very well in the combat. Still.
The the world had been fearfully whispering about the Ice Lords for the past 10 years. Though, of course, they had been present long before then.
Right, so that's the setup. I'm going to speak over the intro a little bit. The setup is that 7 Ice Lords are slowly taking over the world using an undead army, and there basically seems to be no stopping them because they're immortal, and every mortal they kill just adds to their numbers. In fact, I'm going to fast forward the full intro because I'm not, again, sure. Oh, I can't fast forward it. Okay, I guess we're watching the full intro then.
There were a few who still tried to stand against the invaders. The elves, who had hitherto remained neutral, and the red scribes, a small group of scholars who believed their knowledge might be able to tip the scales. The scribes had recently engaged the services of a group of mercenaries known as the Freeborn Blades, a renowned company who would become even more so after these events. The Blades were to protect them while they performed a ritual which was intended to change the course of the war.
Okay, so what is Bound by Flame? Well, it's a third-person action RPG. I would say it's exceptionally similar to The Witcher, and that's possibly what they were aiming for. Is that a bad thing? No, I don't think so. And we'll jump straight into it. I believe the in-game cinematic is now going to begin, where we see our character dealing with a undead scout in a rather not exactly expert way. I guess we'll see. I should point out I don't have the visuals fully maxed out in order to try and keep down on PC wear while I'm recording. They're close to max though, other than shadows and some extra anti-aliasing. It's basically maxed out, so you're seeing the visuals almost as good as they can be. This is the Steam version I am playing, by the way.
You can smell them from 50 yards away.
This is us. It's also available on PS3, PS4 and 360. I don't know why it's not on the Xbone, but there you go. So this is all in-game, and it's just going to be playing by itself. I don't have to interact here. Did I mention our character doesn't really start off as a great sword fighter? Because he's not really that great against one little undead scout.
He knows his men, and he knows his powder master hates just hanging around. Setting up camp. Now that's what I call being useful. I honestly believe we stay out this damn war till the end. Well, looks like the end just showed up. The Ice Lords have really done it this time. All of their tail is on the brink. Nothing will stop the Deadwalkers. Soon there won't be a town left to fall back to, or even a tavern where you can spend your pay. There's no one left to turn back this filthy, stinking tide, if it were even possible. Let's hope our beloved employers can deliver on their promises. If their big ritual thing doesn't pan out, we're all going to be left standing here with our asses hanging out.
Okay, so you've heard a little bit of the voice acting of our character, and now I'm going to get control in a second here, and it's going to steadily teach us how to play the game.
Apprentice against 7 immortal mages. Sounds great.
The voice acting, I would say, ranges from okay and average to just plain bad. I do like that the leader of the Freeborn Blades sounds like Sean Connery, and we'll meet him in a second. But yes, this is where we actually begin the game. I'm using the mouse and keyboard setup. I assume it's controller compatible because it's on consoles as well, but I haven't tested those controls. I'm using the WASD keys to move around, mouse to look, and, well, you'll get to see the pop-ups about how combat works and whatnot. We can also just explore the environment a little bit to give you an idea. It definitely doesn't have the same graphical fidelity that The Witcher 2 has, so don't be expecting that. But saying that, I wouldn't say it's an ugly game at all. It's a bit rough around the edges, yes, but this also isn't technically a AAA studio. In fact, I think the recurring theme with Bound by Flame, at least in my 3 or so hours with it so far, is that Spider's studio, or just Spiders I think they're referred to as, they definitely seem to have the ambitions of a AAA studio, but they probably only have the budget of a AA. That would be my overarching opinion on the time with the game I've had so far. It's definitely fun. It's got some issues. It's also got more than a few similarities to, as I've been saying, The Witcher. Now, I don't consider that a bad thing, because quite frankly I think we need more games to the standard of The Witcher 2 in particular. But some people do, and we'll touch on that a bit more once we've actually looked at how the game plays.
Get over here and tell me about it.
There's Sean Connery. Not really literally, but still. So we can look at our objectives. We can also just farm. There's a very heavy emphasis on crafting basically everything, upgrading your weapons with crafting, armor, tools at your disposal, which we'll get into in a second. But let's have a quick conversation with the captain here and let you hear his amazing voice.
By the looks of you, I'm guessing it wasn't just a quiet stroll. So, what did you see?
The Deadwalkers are already close. I got one of their scouts.
God damn it, Vulcan. I've told you 100 times. Recon means observing and reporting, not charging in and fighting without thinking.
I didn't want him to alert all of the others before we were ready for them.
But what if they'd have killed you? Then you wouldn't have been able to alert us before they were ready to attack us. Think for a second. God's blood. We have to get ready for them. Now that you've finally got your ass back over here, you can prepare some traps. Get Peeler to help you place them around the temple. That'll give us some time, and we'll hear them coming.
Yes, sir, Captain.
Alrighty, so this is the... Well, I'm going to skip asking him questions because otherwise we're going to get bogged down in a lot of dialogue, but you can speak to him for a pretty lengthy period of time about the general setup of the game, but I've already covered that. 7 evil Ice Lords. We're protecting a bunch of scribes who are apparently performing some kind of ritual that will save the world from them. So we're going to run over here, get the crafting materials required to make some exploding traps, and then place them. So while we do that, I can go over some things. You're going to be seeing this video on the day that the game is going to be out. It's going to be on Steam and released in stores for the consoles, I assume. Yes, we can press inventory and we can craft exploding traps, and we have to craft, how many of them was it? It's 10, right? Can I make more if I wanted? No. That's a shame, because I actually find these really, really helpful. We'll make 10. So there we go, we've got 10 of them. And I'll get more into the inventory management side of things once I gain a level and things like that. Let's just collect whatever this is as well, because kicking barrels is fun, I guess. I can also sprint, it hasn't taught me that yet, but good, it's let me. And let's speak to the simpleton of our team, Peeler.
Hey, Peeler, lend me a hand, will you?
I'm going to fast forward this conversation actually, because he basically says nothing at all. He's the noob of the Freeborn Blades. Right, so we have to go set some traps and then we'll get into some combat. Combat is probably the most enjoyable part of the game. Because the voice acting isn't amazing, I don't find the storytelling aspects that great. I'm opening up the radio tactile menu. You can also just press 1, which I'll do for the rest of them because it's set to that. Yeah, so the combat I like a lot. It is very difficult on standard difficulty. I imagine it's going to be much, much easier on the lowest possible difficulty. But you have to react, you have to parry, you have to dodge, depending on which weapon you're equipped with. You get 2 sets. And you can't just blindly slash away. Now, you might be able to on this difficulty, and I might have to do that because I'm talking. But yeah, on normal, I've been constantly challenged. I find almost every single fight I get into pretty difficult, which is basically the same as my experience with The Witcher 2, because I refuse to play that on easy. So there we go, this is the easiest kind of enemy. He's got 1 arm and a sword. And now we're going to get our combat tutorial. So there we go. I wonder if it will let me lock on even though it hasn't taught me lock on. Yeah, it can. Good. So there we go. I can quick attack with my left clicks. I can parry, and if I do it at just the right time, by pressing space by the way, I know it hasn't showed me that yet. If I parry at just the right time, you get a slow motion counter. If you just parry like whenever you like, it's a block more so than a parry. So he's got a shield, and it was also showing me I've got a right click attack which you can charge up. It's an AoE. I did that too fast. Let's see if I can do my kick. Yep, that guard breaks sometimes. Oh, there we go. Press Q to push back your adversaries and break their guard, like so, although I mistimed that. And then that's telling you about countering and whatnot, and parries. Hit me. Or I'll hit you. Alright, whatever. I'm trying to get him to eke out a swing, but no, he's just determined to... I think it's because he's the one to teach me about guard breaking. There we go. And let's get him with this. There we are. And now come the ranged ones. So this is telling me that I now have my crossbow equipped and it is shortcut to 2 and I have 10 bolts. So I'm going to quickly do that. Knock him over. Knock him over. I'm actually going to try and save my bolts because I find them really useful, so I don't want to waste them all on the tutorial enemies. There we are. And now we get a mixed wave, I believe. Yes, because this is going to teach us about locking on, I think. Yeah, I've been using the R button. I find that easier because the middle mouse button on my mouse is iffy. Using left and right to change enemies is way too cumbersome because of where your hands are. If you imagine what I'm set up now, my left hand is on WASD, my right hand's on my mouse, and it wants you to use left and right on the arrow keys as the shortcut. Definitely use the mouse scroll. Definitely. I mean, there's just no other way about it. I mean, or you can actually just press R to kind of leave targeting and then put it back on when you're next to an enemy you want. Oh, he's going to die to that. Didn't actually mean to target that one. That shows what I know. Can I block an arrow? Oh, I can. I didn't actually realise that. Let's do some AoE on these guys. Oh, they hit the mine. that I planned that. That wasn't an accident. Now comes trouble. And there's a lot of big enemies in the game. If you want to see some examples of more, definitely look at the Steam store page, which will be linked below, by the way. There's some pictures of some of the other big enemies in the game. So I do have a stopping point in mind for where I plan to end this Let's Look At, and it will be in the fight with that thing. And it will either be a win or a loss. I very nearly lost when I was doing it on normal, but hopefully on easy I should have an edge. Plus I should have more supplies saved up by then because I won't be doing as badly in combat, in theory. So I'll let this play out. We'll get into a bit more combat and then I'll go into another topic I had in mind. If you do find all the dialogue really irritating, you can fast forward it. So this is a new type of undead, or dead walker. These guys like to attack a lot, so they're very much a parry sensitive enemy. Yeah, see, that's why it's reminding you. But the idea is you do it just... see, I timed it wrong again. You do it just before the attack, rather than waiting. Oh, no, I timed it too late there. I mean, there's no harm in just defending an attack, but you get an edge like that. You get to hit way more times if you do a proper counter. That wasn't on me, that's why that didn't counter, I think. There we go. Right, so we'll get centered on our next objective, and then I can get some time to talk again.
Go see how Buffalo is getting along with the scribes. He's meant to be guarding their invoking chamber.
But Captain...
Get out of here! And go find Pila for me while you're gone.
So along with all the other aspects of combat you've seen so far, we are going to get introduced to our second weapon style.
Coming or what?
And eventually you do get followers. You can have one at a time, and there's a bunch of different ones, like there's a mage, for example, there's an archer, a snobby elf, or a smart-arsed elf, I suppose I should say. I also managed to get a knight to be recruited, that I got to be recruited by winning a duel against him, which was exceptionally difficult, might I add. Yeah, so the thing I wanted to bring up is when I was looking into Bound by Flame to see if people were anticipating or not, I saw a lot of rather strange vitriol on one of the official trailers, like how dare this look like The Witcher 2? You realise that, I know Witcher 3 is announced and it's in progress, but games as good as The Witcher don't come along very often. Is it really so bad to have a game that plays in a similar style? I don't think so. I mean, maybe you do think that's a bad thing. Oh, you can't come down here, I came the wrong way, that's what I get for talking instead of concentrating on what I'm doing. But yeah, I just couldn't understand the vitriol. It's like, how dare you copy The Witcher 2? Are they even copying The Witcher 2? I mean, there's obviously similarities as I've gone into. It certainly plays similarly, I will admit. But if a game does something right, it's not bad to emulate it or pay homage to it. That's why I don't mind that so many third-person kind of actiony, cartoony games are using the free flow system from the Arkham games. I love that system a lot, so I really like that people are using it.
As long as I can hear them mumbling, everything is okay.
And as I was saying at the start as well, I'm going to fast forward Buffalo's conversation because he doesn't really say anything.
And,
Is that so?
He's going in to check for the undead who can walk through walls. Yeah, as I was saying at the start there, I lost my train of thought because I was listening to Buffalo. God damn it. I don't know what I was saying at the start there, but we're heading over to where Peeler is, and we're going to have to help him out in a fight. Although first of all, we're going to get the introduction to the other form of combat, I think. Right now. There we go, yep. So twin blades, twin daggers is the other style. They do less damage, but they attack more often. They do stealth attacks if you're in stealth mode, which I'll teach us about later. And they don't block, they actually do a dodge system, which is sometimes better against certain types of enemies. So he's swinging. If you time the dodge correctly, you'll get a slow motion like that and be able to counter easier. Oh, I timed that so wrong. Yep, that's it, teaching me because I got hit. Ow. Actually, you know what? I'm going to target him and should have pressed Q there, but I didn't. There we go. That's a double attack, I think. Nope. Ah, there we go. I got him. Good. That everybody? Yeah. So one of the main complaints I did see was that the combat animations didn't look like they flow. I agree that in the trailer it looks like that, and it's still true for the stealth backstab that you'll see in a second. But the rest of the combat animations do seem to flow well to me. They don't, again, flow to the standard of The Witcher, but they still do well. So they're both unobservant, so it's telling me to go stab one of them in the back for critical damage. Which I shall do by pressing X, I think it is, yeah. I don't use stealth mode too often in this one. In Witcher type games, I do prefer being a intricate swordsman rather than a sneaky guy. So I guess we'll sneak up behind him. Sneaky, 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 and do the backstab. See, this animation, you basically just poke them up the ass. I guess that's to account for all enemy sizes, and that'll be why it's like that. Now the only thing is I don't have a kick against the shield guys, so basically you're supposed to learn, well, I should probably change back to my sword for this guy so I can break his guard. Knee him in the face, that's right. See, I love that. That flows so well. This is me mixing light and heavy attacks, and it makes sense. It does. There we go. And soon, oh, I was going to say soon I'll get a level. Nope, right there I'll get a level. So I'll get to show you what happens when we do that. And it forces me into my menu, I believe. Yes, it does. Good. Right, so right now we have two trees. The warrior tree focuses on the combat with the two-handed sword. The ranger tree focuses on stealth and using the daggers. There is a third tree that you get at the end of the tutorial which deals with fire. And we'll get that far roughly. So I much prefer using the big sword for the most part. It's just my style. So we'll go into this and I will increase my health regeneration in combat because that's just ultra handy. And interrupt is a good ability to have. Parries attacks from the sides is probably better, so I'm going to go for that. So you get 2 skill points to spend per level. And then you also get 1 point to spend in, what do we call these? Feats. Feats like Dungeons and Dragons. So okay. Yeah, so you get 1 feat point per level. They don't all cost 1 point, so sometimes you might want to like hold them until your next level, and there are prerequisites to unlock them. For example, to get the Colossus feat unlocked, I need to have the tough one already bought, and I need to have taken damage 40 times in total, and that costs 3 points. So what have I got access to currently? I gain more experience when I kill enemies. That's a really handy one to get super early. And there is also combat specifics, like specialising in, say, assassinations. And then there's also crafting specializations for like using less materials to make traps, and the same applies to like healing items and whatnot. But for now I'm going to go for practical because it's just too good not to get straight away. More XP for the rest of the game sounds really good to me. Okay, so there we go. We'll get into this chest. We'll get some more. I don't think I'll have the materials to craft right now. Oh, apparently I might. Or did I just pick up a new sword? Is that what it's saying? Yeah, got 2 new weapons. Okay. Right, so Cleaver is just flat out better, although it attacks slower. We shall equip it. And we also have Biting Daggers, which are just better in every way apart from same damage, so we'll equip those. We'll go back to Cleaver and we'll do Craft and see if we can actually build anything. So we can put a unique guard on it and a unique pommel. I do actually have the materials to do so. I could give it physical damage +1 or ability to interrupt +1. I think I just like raw damage, so I'm just going to go for physical damage. And the pommel, we can either do critical hits +3% chance, ability to interrupt +1, or just 1 more damage. I'm just going for raw damage. So yep, damage. You can recycle a weapon once you're done with it just to get back some materials. And let's see, can I put anything in this? Probably not, because I used them all on the other one. Yep. Okay, that doesn't matter. I don't really use the knives unless I have to. Right, so we'll carry on. And round the corner. I don't think there's any more combat for a... Oh, I stand totally corrected. Oh, that missed. Where the hell did that miss? Oh, I was getting stuck on the stones, that's why. But luckily, archers super weak to damage plus sword. Now, has he seen me? Can I sneak up to him, I wonder? Ah, he's seen me. He must have seen me. Yeah, he started pulling to the right, so yeah, he's seen me. But luckily, yeah, I'm doing so much more damage now. Keeping in mind, again, I'm on the easiest difficulty, and there's 2 above normal difficulty. They must be super hard, that's all I can say. You must have to have like 100% focus on getting every single parry and block. Or dodge, depending on which weapon you choose to specialise in. So I believe we're looking for the guy we're looking for. What was his name? Pennell? He's over here having a fight. I'll just take that, I guess, since no one's using it. Yep, there he is.
I need some help here. There's too many of
I was just checking. Oh, I thought I broke his guard. I didn't. That was bad. There we go. Now I did. Oh, you do get your guard up fast, but then when I do that knee attack, it just does so much damage. Or so much stun. Damn, should have expected that. Got him. There we go. And now the ghost. Oh, in fact, let's get rid of the archer nice and quick. That is some damage. So the green bar below my health, by the way, that is your MP equivalent. I'm not entirely sure if it calls it MP in the game, but that's what it is. Don't have any magic yet, so that's why I can't do anything with it. Perfect counter, and he's dead.
Hey, thanks.
Healer, go away, nobody likes you. There is bad language, by the way. Oh, extreme bad languages in the game, and I already got another level, wow. I'll take that gold, thank you. There is a weight limit to what you can carry, by the way, so that's why it encourages you to recycle equipment you're not needing. What I could do with that equipment is, well, spend my level first of all. So let's do, again, I'm probably going to stick with the sword. So I'm going to get more health regen, and I'm going to get charging time for assault, and let's get ability to interrupt. That's actually fairly handy. And feet, carry more stuff, not entirely useful yet. Ah, if I save up 1 point, I can get swashbuckler to do even more damage with my sword. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, and the other thing I was going to do is show you that you can also upgrade your armor if you wanted, so let's see if I can. I could put on interrupt resist on these guys. Or physical resistance. Yeah, physical resistance is really handy right now. Can I do anything else? Nope. Oh, I can also do them. Fine, do that. There we go, so now my physical appearance has changed and I've upgraded my armor. Not looking entirely badass yet, but later on you can look pretty badass. Right, so let's carry on to our objective. We're kind of nearing the end of where I want to stop. Oh, a chest I missed. I also forgot to mention the price. Well, they're going for a full price by PC standards price of £29.99. If you're very, very quick, depending on when I'm allowed to post this video on release day, you might be able to catch it at its pre-order price of 15% off, so that's like £25.49. As I've been saying in recent Let's Look Ats, I never want to pay more than £30 for a game, so it comes under just. And is it worth that? Yeah. What I've spent with the game so far, keep in mind, oh, I'm out of ammo. Keep in mind, it's only like 3 hours or so, but I've thoroughly enjoyed those 3 hours. A lot. Yeah, it's a little rough around the edges. Yeah, the voice acting for the most part is not great, and that's being very polite. But I'm still enjoying the game. It's clear that Spiders definitely had AAA ambitions, but not a budget to match. But they've done well with what they had, I think. I mean, I'm impressed by the game. From a relatively unknown developer, rather, not publisher. And it's very low-key. I mean, I had heard the name thrown around, but until they'd approached me to cover it, I hadn't really heard that much about it. So, yeah, they're playing the low-key game, and that may not pay off, but it has my recommendation based on what I've played so far. And please do keep in mind, this is a first impressions, not a review. The game might turn to crap 10 hours in, who knows. I don't think it will. It might stay a bit too samey, combat might not vary itself. Now I can't remember the best bet with this guy, I believe it's evasion, so I'm going to switch to my daggers and test that theory. Yeah, it's evasion. You can't block his swipes, I believe. I regret not upgrading my daggers now. Oh, stunned him. Also, if you hear my mouse clicking furiously when I'm using the daggers, that's another reason why I wasn't going to use them a lot in this video. Because you do have to click a lot. You can't just hold the button down because of the way the combos work. Hey there. I just want a hug. That's not how you hug. We did get yet another level there, so I'm going to go back in and loot all that gear too, and then I'll get yet another level. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And that. See if we can upgrade anything else. The stuff you need to upgrade, well, to craft healing items and mana items when you get them, you need a lot of stuff, so that's kind of a way that the difficulty is increased as well. You can't just churn out tons and tons of healing pots and just zerg your way through fights. Yeah, I'm going to put more points into this tree. I'm just going to use this almost exclusively. More damage? Yep. More damage? Yep. I've never focused so much on one tree before. I kind of spread myself thin on my off-camera play. It still works, but maybe that's why I'm struggling in combat so much. Maybe it's because I'm not specialised, although I did get the impression that varying how you play is part of the game, so I'm not sure on that. Anyway, we will also get Swashbuckler for another 2 extra sword damage, specifically swords, not like you can get hammers and axes as well. Right, so yeah, that'll do. Oh, I didn't check if I could craft anything, but I did just pick up more health potions, so that's fine. Let me see if I can quickly just bung something in my daggers, just so they're not base damage, say. Ah, nope, still nothing. Or still not enough to do anything. What about my gauntlets? Can I put anything in the gauntlets? No. Shame. Okay, let's go to what is going to be kind of like the turning point in the activation of the 3rd skill tree. Yep, Sean Connery there is telling everybody to fall back into the evoking room where the red scribes are. And that's where stuff happens. And then we'll have a boss fight, and then I will kind of start ending the video. Where are we going? It's through back this way. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of these little weirdos here. I'm just going to clear a path using an explosive. Just to save on a bit of combat time. Did that clear enough for me? Yeah, it did. We'll just run this way if you don't mind. Because the idea here is just to run to the chamber, it's not to stop and fight. Although you could, I suppose, if you wanted drops to carry on fighting. There's another one of these big bastards here that I have no intention of fighting, so if we kind of lure him this way, maybe just set off another trap here. Oh, I did not do a lot of damage to you, did it? See you later. And the chamber is through here, and then I believe we have to press a button on it to open. Do we? Come on. There we go. So we'll get a cutscene here that shows the 3rd skill tree, the power that Vulcan gets. And then we're thrown pretty much straight into a boss fight straight after. And you also get to see a little bit more of the in-engine cutscenes here. But I suppose to kind of go over it, because it isn't really particularly clear what happens here. They accidentally, or maybe because of Vulcan's presence, maybe he's special, I don't know the reason yet, they accidentally free a fire demon, and he possesses Vulcan and kind of joins his soul, and obviously an ice-themed army of the undead is exceptionally weak to ice, to fire rather. So you become the last chance for the world. But at the same time, the demon is trying to possess you, so you can't rely too much on the fire powers he gives you. That is the mage who you can have follow you around now and then, by the way. One of many companions I've met so far. Well, one of 5 I think in total. Yeah, 5. I think it's 5.
Are you going to be alright?
I'm fine. Worry about those dead walkers.
So, alright, so another little bit of combat first. I forgot about it, actually. Not quite sure why he didn't hit me there, because he did hit. There we go. If you do the guard break right after you kind of shield away from a hit, that's when you do the knee smash, and it's a super long stun. And he's down. Oh, there's still one more over here. There we go.
Something is wrong. The catalyzer shouldn't do that.
Hello again, Mr. Wants a Hug. So we kind of just get thrown into the thick of it here with our new powers. We get given 2 spells to start off with. One which imbues our weapon with flame, so we do more damage against all the undead because they're ice themed. And just the ability to throw a basic fireball as well. And we have to take out this monster and his helpers. Which is no easy feat on normal difficulty, let me tell you. I still did it first try, but my god was it hard. I was 1 hit away from death without any healing items by the time it was over. But let's see what happens.
I shall not let thy weakness be our downfall.
Here we go. So there we go. We have orb of flame, of fire, sorry, and burning weapon, and we can open up the radio memory menu, not memory, to see them. Let's open with a fireball. Time does move, but just very slowly. And we'll imbue our weapon and then go to town on this guy. Have to dodge arrows as well, which is what makes the fight hard, really. I should probably kill them, but they keep on spawning, honestly, so I'm just going to focus on annihilating this guy. He will get some hits in on me. That's going to happen. Open the tactical menu to use a pot. So the one with the paw print shape almost is mana. I believe we're trying to get all the yellow health bars on the boss, so I've done both legs, now it's both arms. And let's just get our fire weapon back, because that does almost triple damage. I suppose if I was... oh yeah, heal as well. Oh, 7 health bars. I had like 2 when I got here on normal. What was I saying before that? Oh yeah, I would imagine because he's so large you can't block him, that you should really be using the daggers. There we go. Because you can evade his attacks and then strike, but it worked out. That was so much easier on easy.
Burning.
And there we have it.
How did I do that? Captain, I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
The swamp? Oh, that sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously, I fried that thing. I saved our asses, and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
Yeah, did I mention that the sense of humour that the game tries to elicit isn't also that great? That's a minor negative, but some of the writing I don't approve of. Now we're going to get a glimpse of one of the Ice Lords here. And now we're going to pretty much reach the end of where I planned to stop for my Let's Look At. So I will say that this was Bound by Flames by Spiders, or Spider Studio. It's a third-person action RPG. It plays very much like The Witcher 2. Is that a bad thing? Hell no! I don't understand the vitriol it was getting as a result of that. I've enjoyed my time with it so far. I probably will carry on playing my other save file. By the way, this is kind of like a dream world where you speak with the demon. It's available on Steam for £29.99. That's in British pounds, unless you catch it early enough to get the pre-order bonus still. It's also available on PS3, PS4 and 360. There will be relevant links in the description box below. And I'm actually going to fast forward this so I can talk. In fact, can I go to menu? No, I can kind of do that. So yeah, there'll be relevant links in the description box below. I will get the words out eventually. And if you want to support me or just help the developers out in a free way, please do consider leaving a comment or liking the video. It helps a whole lot. So as it's going to load into another conversation here as they escape into the swamp, I will say my name has been Flik. This has been Bound by Flame. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more gaming stuff. And ta-ta for now.